This happened a few years back. I had quit my job and was looking to change careers. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but wanted time to think. I found a job doing what was basically security at a boys' boarding school. It was a pretty sweet job. I got to live on the grounds with free rent. I'd spend a week doing the day shift and a week doing the night shift. The day shift, there was literally nothing to do. The school was in the middle of the English countryside. It wasn't the kind of place people would just walk past and try to break into or anything like that. The night shift was more entertaining. At nights, you were pretty much there to stop people breaking out instead of breaking in. The older boys were always trying to sneak out to meet friends, girls, drink beer, the usual teenage things. Well, anyway, one night a woman turned up at the front gate at about 7 p.m. It was November, so it was already dark. She said she was the mum of one of the kids, Andy, a 13-year-old who had just recently started boarding. It was raining and I noticed she had no coat, no umbrella. She looked quite disheveled. I explained to her that we can only release students in an emergency, and that she had to ring the night student care counselor to approve it, would then ring me. She started to get really agitated, balling up her fists. Her arms were kind of shaking with the effort. She told me she didn't have a phone on her and she had come a long way to see Andy, and that she had called in advance though. I checked my records again out of politeness, but I knew there was nothing in there. I didn't want to be rude though, so I offered to call the student care counselor myself. I asked the woman her name and turned around to pick up the phone to call. The woman didn't answer. When I turned back around, I saw her walking quickly back towards the road. It was starting to rain heavier, and that's when I realized that I couldn't even see a car. The school was really in the middle of nowhere. Anyway, I left a message for the student care counselor in case the woman got in touch and left it be. Nighttime security required me to check the dorms around every hour. The time at which we checked them specifically, though, changed to stop the boys working out patterns. I was next due to do a walk in 15 minutes, but after spending another 10 minutes in the office, I couldn't get settled. I had a weird feeling in my stomach, and so I decided to do an early walk. I locked the office, grabbed an umbrella, and headed across to the dorms. It was raining really heavy now, and one of the exterior lights had blown. But when I arrived at the door to the dorms, I immediately saw that the door was open, and that a glass pane in the door had been broken, and then there was blood on it. I started immediately, shouting at the intruder. I didn't know where they were, but I hoped they were close enough to hear me. Unfortunately, my shouts also woke up the boys. The older kids started to pour into the hallway. I shoved through them, yelling them to go back and lock their doors. As I got through them, I spotted blood on the ground, going left down a corridor. I quickly ran down and spun right at the end. The woman was there. Her hand was on the door to what turned out to be Andy's dorm. I yelled at her to stop. She hesitated for a moment, but seeing me moving towards her, she forced open the nearest window and jumped through into the night. I checked Andy's room and the kids were all there, scared but safe. When the police came, it turned out the woman was Andy's biological mum, but she wasn't allowed to see Andy without supervision. She had mental health issues and had recently come off her meds. To this day, though, I still don't know how she knew which was Andy's dormitory.